I don't know how people don't love opera. I have encountered a few of those people, although usually, like with so many other things in life, they think they won't like it because they've never tried it.
Music is an action. It's something you do. There is a body of it, and you can treat it like another academic discipline, but ultimately if you're not doing it, you're not being a musician. That music is profoundly collaborative. You collaborate with other performers. You collaborate with the composer who wrote the music and left you a score, which you then have to bring, you, perhaps in collaboration with a lot of other people, have to bring to life. And of course, you collaborate with an audience. Their experience of what you do is the point. Art is always much more exciting, frustrating often, but much more exciting working in dialogue with limitation. The composers who come up with really, really great art are always, here's a blank piece of paper, but you've got to write this kind of a piece for those particular singers. Or you have these resources at your disposal and not the ideal resources. And your first reaction can be, oh no, how can I do this? And then the wheels start to turn and you come up with this stuff. I will do just about anything, including make a total idiot of myself, if I think it will work. But years ago, I did an internship with the National Association of Teachers of Singing, and I was paired with Dale Moore, who was a professor of voice for many years at Indiana University. And he said to me something that I think is really what I try to do. I mean, it's very basic, very philosophical, but he said, listen carefully, always tell the students the truth, and be nice while you're doing it. And that's the basic line. I mean, if what they're doing is bad, you can't tell them it's good. You have to tell them that's out of tune. That does not communicate the story. You're not in the light. When you get very interested in teaching and you read a lot of the literature about pedagogy, I get very impatient with it because it seems to me that they ignore the whole performative aspect of teaching. They think of teaching as a body of knowledge or a repertoire of tricks or techniques. And of course, those things are part of teaching. But the role of teacher is playing a role. It is a performance that one has to give. And it's a very exciting role.
Dr. Zeller, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to be your student. The things that you have taught me, that you taught me at Clayton State, the things that I learned there about myself, about being a singer, about being a singing actor, that was like, oh, that was lovely.
I've been saying, I want them to have this profoundly experiential, profoundly collaborative experience of making art. I want students going out of here discovering that they can have a lifelong relationship with Monteverdi and Mozart and Mahler, and that it isn't all, I'm not saying that, that they can't or shouldn't have a relationship with music of their time, but this stuff does not live in dusty libraries. I think I'm a fairly Socratic teacher. I think especially when you're working on discovering dramatic relationships and motivation, things like that. But I think you get better results in the end if you proceed from the assumption that the performer has the answer.
There was one thing that you said that I still think about every time I'm gonna sing, every time it comes up. Outside of singing, when I have a chance to say it to somebody, I say it. This was the greatest thing. You said that in terms of stage fright, that your fear is there, right? Accept your fear and live with it, and let your fear live amongst all of your other emotions, all of your other feelings. It's there, accept it. But there's also, I did my best. I worked my butt off. I look great, all of that, and I'm scared a little bit. So that stuck with me. And I just want to thank you for that and wish you the best.
Hi, Dr. Zeller. Congratulations on your retirement. I couldn't make it to Spivey, but I wanted to take the time to say thank you. Thank you so much for your support throughout my time at Clayton State. All of your knowledge and what you poured into me has helped me tremendously throughout my musical career. So again, you will be missed, but your retirement is very much deserved.
Hi, Dr. Zeller. This is Caitlin Forrester, also known as Caitlin Thomas. I wanted to say I hope you enjoy your retirement. It is well deserved. I would not have graduated with my bachelor's degree without you, and I so appreciate you. Thank you for your time and effort, because you put in a lot. Love you.
There's that famous song of Cole Porter's that begins "Kiss Me, Kate," another opening, another show, and it has that line, 2 weeks we rehearse and rehearse, or 3 weeks we rehearse and rehearse, 2 weeks it couldn't be worse. You know, that's kind of how you always feel. 1 week, will it ever be right? And of course, that's a wonderful song that all show business people love because everybody relates to that. That's what it always feels like. I'm basically a character singer. I mean, I started being really interested. The thing that I told you about the Shakespeare got me interested was theater. And then I discovered music and discovered you could do both. I mean, that's why I direct opera. And so I like character roles. I like the roles that have a fun acting challenge about them.
Students should study opera because it is the Gesamtkunstwerk, which is a fancy word that Richard Wagner created to mean the art that encompasses all the art forms. Now today, because it didn't exist when Wagner came up with that word, I think some people would say film is that form too. But opera was film before there was film. And even much of what happens in film today happens because it happened in opera first. That everybody should love opera because it is one of the great achievements of the human race. It is a highly developed art form that has been around and has continued to develop with humanity for, well, over 400 years. And it hasn't stayed the same. And it is a great record of where Western civilization has been.
It's kind of bittersweet because you do work really hard on it and you give it all out. You only have one shot to give it everything you've got. And then you're happy with it. Then you say, I'm done. Go home. You sleep. You wake up. You think it's just a dream, and then you go to school and you're like, oh, it's over. What do I do now?